A scion of many worlds. All right, why are you humming that? It's already stuck in my head, Jasper asks while linked up with Horus. This is nearly the 20th time they've done this, and it's grown easier and smoother each time. The technique is getting easier and easier with practice. Sorry, new show's theme is stuck in my head. It was a bit of a PR stunt. Samuel finally got his acting gig. Horus says even as things start syncing up. Oh God, so that overdramatic idiot has been inflicted upon the entire galaxy. Does this mean humanity's being declared criminal as a species? Jasper jokes and Horus snorts hard. Stop joking, I need to focus. Horus chides him and Jasper grins as he continues to synchronize with Horus. Then the axiom pulls like the edge of a waterfall. Jasper staggers and Ivy's eyebrow goes up as he continues to focus unaided. He lets out a roar with an echoing Earthani trill as he feels the axiom contort around him like a typhoon, and against his outstretched claws, a pallet of large pillars materializes. He promptly collapses onto them and struggles to breathe as he waits for the local axiom to calm and replenish. His head spins like a top as the world around him struggles to stand up again after so much power was torn away from it. Ivy begins before drifting off for a minute. She's lying back on the cushion she had already sat down upon in anticipation of the disruption. It had saved her from a spectacular and very literal pain in the tail. That was the worst one yet. Jasper clears his throat, then swallows the phlegm as he tries to focus himself. We may be refining the technique, but this lot was a hell of a lot bigger than the radio or the books he sent over. Doesn't change the fact it was the worst one yet. She chides him. No, it does not. He agrees. He lets out a huge lungful of air once his body starts moving fully well again, and he cracks his back. The series of pops that go up and down it make Ivy wince hard. All right, set up the central gate and then carry the mobile one where needed. Easy. Easy, you say. So shattering basic understandings of physics and space-time continuity is just a matter of setting up some pillars. I suppose it does sound easy if you're strong enough to casually walk through a brick wall. Ivy teases and Jasper snorts. Ha, fair enough. Still, there's no argument against my using the Auritus Valley as a base camp for a growing army. Even without the Undaunted coming in order to justify everything our order stands for, the books and the knowledge they contain are worth more than, 100,000 square kilometers of perfectly arable land for flawless farming, she remarks, and he lets out a whistle of appreciation. So yes, we're on board. Okay then, let's do this. There's also the fact that there's more than a small amount of catharsis to see stupid countries get smacked upside the head by an Earthani of all things. Seeing the cruel and self-serving get what's coming to them just brings a warm feeling to me, she says, and he lets out a chuckle. Well then, let the show continue. Let's finish this intermission and get back to our regularly scheduled blitzkrieg of a war. Blitzkrieg? Is that a human word? German. Basically, you hit so fast and so hard that there's no time for defenses to be put up, and you just keep rolling and never let them get their balance back. On an individual scale, it's laying a trap or an ambush, but in this case, it's scaled up for an entire country. Where does the word come from? She asks. The woman's a scholar to her bones. German. I don't really know what Krieg means. I think it means ruler or victory or something. But blitz means fast, so I think it means swift victory, I think. I'm only sure of the swift part. It means war and blitz is lightning. The radio chimes up and Jasper glances over to it. What? Jasper asks. Krieg means war. Blitzkrieg means lightning war. The person on the other end supplies. Thank you, but wait, is the talk button stuck down or something? Jasper asks, putting down the pillars he had started to pick up. Possibly. I can't exactly see your end. I'm on the Dauntless. The radio chimes out and Ivy starts fiddling with it and the push-to-talk button comes unstuck. Feels almost rude to cut them off. Ivy notes as Jasper heaves up on a trinity of the pillars. Maybe, but they're military boys. So long as you're not taking their food, their sisters, or shooting at them, then they can forgive just about anything. And even then, they're usually a few drinks away from being okay with you. I don't understand how a warrior people can be so forgiving. It's not forgiveness, Jasper notes as he balances the whole lot across his massive shoulders. It's apathy. Short of straight up attacking us, just about anything you can think of pales in comparison to the sheer amount of shit the drill sergeants shoveled onto you. Oh, think of it like this. When you've had your arm busted bad and made a recovery, a slap just feels like a tickle after that. Now come on, let's set up the main gate. Jasper notes as he crouches down and scooches to the side to get out of the room proper. He's grown too big for the standard doorways. Luckily, the halls are nice and wide. Although if he stretches his antenna, he can in fact brush the ceiling. Another bit of ducking and scooching and he's outside with the pillars. 2 have points and the third has a matched pair of holes. A stomp and flow of axiom gives him a pair of holes that he sets the paired pillars in, and he then spends about 10 minutes adjusting the distance between the two. Eyeballing things is not the most accurate measuring method. It then takes him 2 tries to get the top piece on the right way and then another half hour of adjusting the pillars by slowly rotating them until everything suddenly clicks. He takes a step back and grins. The doorway is not only big enough for him to walk through easily, but big enough for a pair of Canador women to walk through it shoulder to shoulder without issue. What is this? I can feel something going on with it, Lady Dusk says, walking up from the side. She had flourished as the quartermaster of the growing army and has a great head for numbers. It's a doorway. I need to set up the other side, but it should let us move the entire army incredible distances in mere minutes. Think about it. An hour or 2 is all that's needed to move an army to another side of the continent. There would be almost no need for a wagon train, although it would be smart to stock up on resources on the other side in case something goes wrong with the doorway. She muses out loud and he nods. That's right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get the other half set up in Fort Earthgrasp. Jasper remarks and he turns to leave. A hand on his wing stops him and he looks back. What are you planning? She asks, and he quirks an eyebrow. Don't play cute with me. You're going to be attacking Luxembourg, City of Light. My family is there. I plan on saber rattling and a precision strike against the highest powers. Give everyone a good scare and then take out the very top alone. After that, I step in and enforce my will. Minimum of death and blood, maximum effort. I see, Lady Dusk says, fidgeting a bit. Do you want me to get your family out first? He asks, and she looks hopefully up at him before turning away. Brianna, I need a definitive answer. Our peoples are very different. I don't know if you feel shame, shyness, uncertainty, or wrath. Shame. My family may not even be in Luxembourg any longer. They have likely been exiled or even executed in my absence. I don't know, and it shames me to not know, Lady Dusk says, and he pulls her into a hug. Do you still remember your way around the city? He asks, and she nods. All right then, you've undergone the dream training. You've marched besides us and you've found a place. But perhaps it's time for you to push beyond your comfort zone. How would you like to lead a scouting party into the city with eyes on both securing internal allies and routes inside? No doubt they'll hold up on the walls, but simultaneously they'll have weaknesses. And you want me to poke at them? Brianna Dusk asks, and he thinks. I was just thinking out loud. If you want to help, then get into the city and try to keep things calm. It will let you get yourself either closure for your family or the ability to protect them. Thank you. That helps a lot, she says, and he rests a hand on her shoulder. Despite knowing what he can do with his claws, she doesn't flinch. You're going to be all right. You're not alone and you're not abandoned. Not by me. I've got you," he assures her, kneeling own to her level and still somehow taller than her. She looks up at him. There's relief, awe, grief, and several other emotions warring across her face, enough of them that he can feel it clearly in the axiom. "Thank you," she says before hugging him. He pauses for a moment before patting her on the back. "Why do you care so much? Why do we matter so much to you?" He just shrugs a little. "I don't have any reason not to. Besides, there's enough cruelty and pain in the universe without pointlessly adding to it." Strange thing for a soldier and warlord to say. "I've never not been strange," Jasper replies, and she giggles around a sudden sob. "Are you crying?" "No, you're crying. Shut up," she tells him, turning away, and he chuckles, standing fully upright again. "Of course. I'm gonna go and set up the second doorway now. When you're done not crying, you can start planning the infiltration of Luxembourg," Jasper assures her, and he takes a step away with a smile. He takes his time to gather up the pieces of the second doorway and rolls them up in a blanket before chaining them together to just carry as one big bundle. He lifts up the huge weight and has to run much more axiom through his body than usual in order to lift off the ground. He takes a moment to appreciate the sheer weight and then launches into the sky. The sheer drag of the pillars makes him gape for a moment before steeling himself and increasing his speed. Any notion of stealth goes bye-bye as the winds howl around the bundle of pillars. It takes minutes at most to reach Fort Earthgrasp, and his arms are already burning as if literally set on fire as he touches down. He takes a moment to catch his breath, and in front of the entire fascinated army he sets up the doorway. This time it only takes about 5 minutes as he has a general idea of what to do. A bit of rotating and the whole doorway is primed and starts to build power. Then he steps back as it opens. "Whoa, that works," Lady Dusk says, stepping through. "Oh, this changes everything." "You said that about the radio," Jasper remarks in an amused tone. "It also changed everything," she says defensively. "And the cannons," he continues. "You can stop that now." She half snaps at him and he chuckles. No, I can't," he remarks. "All right, people, back to Eritis. Loot this place down to the floorboards and get ready. Next time the door opens, it's right outside Luxembourg." "So we're going to be attacking the capital?" Lady Allure asks, and he grins. "Too fast for them to stop. Their forces are divided across the borders, and we can make this borderline bloodless in a single fell sweep." "More fighting, normal people. Boring. I want to fight something big and mean and with some attitude," Magrica complains, and Jasper chuckles. "I'm sorry there's just not that many major beasts being used in warfare. Still, once we have the capital, I have no doubt there will no doubt be some horrible monster attacking somewhere that you can go off, have some fun, and be a hero all at once. There'd better be. At this rate, I'm going to get lazy,"